The soaring numbers on this debt clock are the reason some members of Congress say the country needs a balanced budget amendment. They say without it, Washington will keep driving the country deeper and deeper into disastrous debt. But critics say requiring a balanced budget would make it hard to finance major infrastructure programs like building highways and bridges. They also say Washington needs flexibility to deal with unexpected costs like war, natural disasters, and economic problems like the recent Great Recession. For example, unemployment goes up during an economic crisis, boosting the need for government-funded unemployment compensation. At the same time, tax revenue falls as fewer people have taxable income, thus contributing to a budget deficit. Add up all the years the government prints checks for more money than it takes in, and you have the huge $14.3 trillion U.S. government debt, which is financed by borrowing. The government finances the debt with huge amounts of borrowed money, which tends to raise interest rates and slow economic growth. Scholar Brian Darling of the Conservative Heritage Foundation says the government has a deficit because it is too big, growing too fast, and costs too much.
Well, it hurts our economy, it hurts the world economy because the U.S. government is sucking up resources and using resources that could be used elsewhere.
But Michael Attlinger of the Liberal Center for American Progress says the massive deficit is not a result of the size of government, but of the size of the tax cuts introduced by the administration of President George W. Bush.
What's different about the United States than almost every other developed country is that we have much lower taxes. So the result is we're trying to spend like a developed country, although we still spend less than most developed countries, but we're taxing much less than the other developed countries.
Congressional Republicans say Washington should slash spending, not raise taxes. Many support proposals to go through the complex process of amending the U.S. Constitution to require a balanced budget every year. Republican Senator Orrin Hatch says this is the only way to stop overspending.
Washington has consistently demonstrated that it cannot control its urge to spend.
U.S. President Barack Obama says he thinks it is important to work towards balancing the budget and making the tough choices that are a key part of the job that he and members of Congress were elected to do.
We don't need a constitutional amendment to do that. What we need to do is to do our jobs.
The House of Representatives supports a balanced budget amendment, but it is unlikely to pass the Senate this year. 5 Nobel Prize-winning economists say such a law would make it hard to respond to an economic crisis, make recessions worse, and encourage gridlock in Congress. Jim Randall, VOA News, Washington.
Gentlelady may proceed.